Hello! I got some nice Renaissance music going there, and it was totally unintentional. Found a channel on the Pretzel that said classical guitars, and I think it's been there, but for some reason it didn't ever catch my eye before, so I thought I'd try it. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I love six-string guitar music that is, acoustic, and have a number of CD albums that are those kind of guitar players and their music, and I love it. Hey, how's everybody? It's Friday, and I am worn to a pencil point. I'll tell you, I'm tired. It's the never-ending, non-stop. I have 5 days to go before I'm going to be gone for 14 days. And, I just can't avoid it. I make lists. I keep pretty strict schedules as far as myself and what I need to do. I give up my fun things like knitting and spinning. And the only thing I didn't give up was the streaming. So anyway, I'm really struggling. It's either going to be a whole lot better by Sunday stream or a whole lot worse. It just depends how I can do tomorrow and Sunday morning to get everything done that I think is needed yet for Christmas. And then after that, it's just focus on packing, focus on, getting the house ready to leave and that sort of thing. So I will be back Sunday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m., but that will be it for a couple weeks. And I got to remember to put my vacation thing on the Twitch page for me. So I'm going to ply tonight. Easy peasy, don't have to think about it. And I was going to knit because one of the things on my list is 3 more hats. The hats go pretty fast, but they still take a couple nights of knitting. So I was going to knit. I probably will knit on Sunday. And hopefully I can take it with me too. I know I can take it with me. Hopefully I can work on it. I won't take it on the cruise. I did that one time. I took socks. I thought, I'll sit and knit socks, and it'll be a very pleasant thing to do, sitting on the balcony and watching the sea go by when we're at sea day. But it was, 98 degrees and super high humidity, and I didn't feel like sitting out on the patio, the balcony then. I didn't feel like knitting. I had it in a bag, and I thought everything was all contained, and never really ever opened it. So when I got home, many months later, not immediately, but a month or so later, when I was ready to work on those socks again, I opened up the bag and my one sock was missing. My completed sock was gone. Now, I can't imagine somebody would take one sock. I feel more likely it fell out somehow and fell behind the bed or whatever, right? And I never knew it. But still, I am perplexed to this day where in the world that sock went. And I had enough yarn that I actually knitted a third one, so I do have a pair of it. It was Christmas yarn because it was this time of year that we had gone on the cruise. Maybe they thought it would be cool as a Christmas stocking, and I hope somebody is getting some pleasure out of it, their ill-gotten gains. But if that's what really happened. But, I never did. It went in that sock black hole that happens every now and then, and we don't know where that sock goes, and we hope it finds a mate and somebody's enjoying it somewhere. So I have decided not to take knitting again on the trips. I can take it, but I'm not going to take it on the cruise. I will leave it at Mom's house because after the cruise we go back to Mom's house, pack up the car, and the following day come home. Actually drive 2 days and then come home. I will be back on the 22nd of December. So I will not be back until the day after Christmas. But we'll get into that on Wednesday because that's not true yet. I will be back on Wednesday. So let's do some plying. because I may cut this stream short. And that's because, once again, I walked into the house from us out and about running errands 10 minutes before stream. Seriously, 10 minutes before stream. It doesn't take anything for me to sit down, turn everything on the computer, as long as I've got something to work on here in front of me. Unfortunately, I have moved a lot of the spinning stuff here. You know, I have one bag of miscellaneous fiber, I have a bag of washed fiber that I'm picking, and I have this acrylic roving top, whatever it is, that I have been spinning, and that's what I'm going to apply. So I have a fair number of projects right here, and that's good. If I want to do something specific that I have to plan ahead, it would not work if I'm out running errands. We did not intend to be that late. The traffic was horrendous in multiple places, and I crept and I crept and I crept as I was driving, and it took us 40 minutes more to get home than it usually does. So there I was, 10 minutes before stream. No harm done. We can do this. Not a problem. Okay, so I'm going to apply this acrylic, which I've attached and started. Sit back and relax. And by the way, it is Cocktail Friday, and I am drinking in a beautiful glass. Oh, which you can't see because of my fingers. Has snowflakes on it. I love it. The cocktail was pre-made. Don't buy many of those. And I was glad to have it because I wouldn't have had time to make one. But you can buy a bottle of pre-made Manhattans and pre-made Old Fashions. And it looks like a booze bottle. I mean, it's 750 mLs. And I just like, it's not bad. It's you know, a specific alcohol, and it's a little heavy on the bitters. I'm being picky because I drink a lot of Manhattans, and so I know how I like them to taste. But awesome, it really is. So this is my little, thank goodness, cocktail. And that'll last me during the stream. Now, I have to cough. Sorry about that. I am not sick. I know that. I'm not even thinking that I might be getting sick. I just have respiratory problems this time of year. And it's somewhat akin to allergies, but there really isn't any allergenic things going on outside, and my house hasn't changed. We don't even have a Christmas tree in the house, which I'm not allergic to normally, but you know, sometimes people blame Christmas trees for allergies. Nope, this is just my sinuses reacting to the fact that 2 days ago it was in the 30s. Yesterday it hit 72. I don't know what the high was today, but it definitely got into the 70s. It's crazy making on your sinuses to jump back and forth with that much change in temperature. My joints aren't too happy about it either. Although I work that out as I'm up and walking around. So that actually I can fix by getting up and being active. Cannot fix my sinuses. And I don't really take anything for them. I just kind of live with it. So this is the last of the multicolored acrylic single. And I spun a pink single to play it with. This is the second skein that I have made of this combination. I have pink left over, and I have to decide what I'm going to do. What I really need to do is go ahead and spin it the same wraps per inch and put all of these skeins together, since they are not similar to anything else I have in my yarn stash except maybe commercial acrylic. I probably could get away with combining it with something commercial, but this is the first I've ever spun acrylic, and it's the first yarns, skeins that I've made out of this fiber. So it would be good to put everything together in something, and if I have enough, I'm going to make some kind of baby blanket. Because this colors the pink and the blue and combinations of that in the purples and stuff, it just kind of says baby. I need to be something for the baby. But there is points in this single that is over twisted because of the amount of twist. I noticed that when I was spinning a certain way and certain amount of twist, it was not holding the twist as a single. It was just kind of relaxing, and where you had chunk 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 chunk, you would end up with chunk 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 half the twist, because it just relaxed it right out of the single, even on the bottom. So I put more twist in. That crazy chaotic background is a picture of the little tiny packets of fiber that was wrapped in my Advent calendar for this year. And we're going to open a couple of those later on. I don't have to be secretive about these. I did not exchange with anybody who knows the stream or watches the stream. This is something I bought from a vendor, and it is 25 packets of fiber to be opened for the Advent calendar of December. It's the first time I ever did it, and I've only opened one. I opened one Friday or Wednesday morning. At least while we were out running around, we got supper. So that was nice. And I did get my hair done. I got my hair cut. Hubby got his hair cut. So we're all ready to be pretty for the cruise. I forget how many yards was in the last game. I'm not sure it got measured. It did, but then I knit off of the knitting knotty to make the gauge, not swatch, but washcloth, so that I could see how this fiber would react. So I took yardage off for that. So I really don't know how many yards I have of that. I have both a combo, which is the moldy and the pink, and one that is plied moldy and moldy. So I actually have 2 more skeins besides this one. And then I probably could make 2 or 3 skeins of the pink. Each of the fibers had 10 ounces, and it was sold by Hobby Lobby. Well, is everybody Thanksgiving leftovers all gone? I'm still down to the very end of the ham that I need to use up. Got a couple slices left for sandwiches and chunks left for a couple dishes, a couple things, casseroles I want to make. That's on my list for tomorrow to finish up the ham. Do the cooking for that. I could just throw it in the freezer, but gotta have food anyway, so I figured I'd just cook it. Unfortunately, I am so tired. This blind's going to put me to sleep. Having a terrible time adjusting to the darkness. I know it's because, really, seriously, for so many years, at least 25, I worked second shift. I would start in the afternoon, and I would get off somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock. Sometimes I worked a little later or whatever, but the whole point was, even in the summertime, it was getting to be dusk when I got off, but wintertime, like this, was solid, very dark. I drove home in the dark a lot, and, you know, I had worked, and so I was tired, so it didn't matter that it was dark, I just went to bed. Now, it's dark, and my brain says it's time to go to bed, and my body says, well, okay, but really, didn't you forget you were going to do this and this and this and this and this? You know, it's like my 2 sides of my brain arguing, right? And if I do go to bed, I do fall asleep. I mean, it's habitual, right? It's a habit. It's dark, I fall asleep. But I wake up like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's not good. So I'm trying really, really, really hard. But I have a battle from about 7 o'clock on this time of year. During the summer, you know, I can turn around and it's 10:30 at night, and I was like, oh, I guess it's probably time to go to bed soon. I'd get past 6:30 and I'm like, can I go to bed? I don't know. I must have been some kind of animal that hibernates in my previous life or something. finally got my flu shot. Finally. Got it yesterday. I don't ever feel bad on those. I was required to get them every year when I worked in the hospital, so my body, they're probably similar enough. My body is like, oh, yeah, I know what this is. Here, go attach to these T cells and get out of my life. Do your job. It's, the whole basic part. That's the whole basic explanation of immunity. Go attach to this cell and do your job. That's why you lose the immunity, because after a while, you run out of those cells. They only have a relatively minor, it's not short shelf life. I think a blood cell lives 140 days. Oh my gosh. I'm forgetting my immunity information from my training a bazillion years ago. But anyway, red cell does die eventually. And it's not a red cell, I'm sorry. The white cells do die eventually. Get beat around in the body, and eventually the body doesn't recognize them anymore and slurps them up, destroys them. It's going to take me an hour to apply this. It is 2 very full bobbins. Not very full, but it's going to make a very full 2-ply bobbin. That's for sure. A little more. I'm going to have to start sticking a couple shawls in here. It was so warm today, I didn't really put a second layer on. Now I'm a little chilly. And that's because the furnace isn't running, because it's warm enough that it doesn't think it has to. Get a little more booze in me. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. So I have one more thing to come, and that is for a Christmas present. The last thing, and it's supposed to come Monday. Oh, we got our Harry and David pears. Those are our Christmas treat every year. We buy Harry and David pears. They are the best, most wonderful, probably more money than I should pay for, but they are so good. And that's our Christmas treat. We'll get oranges when we go down to Florida. That's going to be like getting them from the source, because we go to an orchard that's somewhat nearby my mom's house. So we will get oranges and bring those back. And I'll have oranges. But the pears will keep really well in the refrigerator. They wouldn't keep forever. Okay. But really, seriously, they would keep 2 months in the refrigerator. But I keep 2 out, right? And in 2 days they're ready, and we eat those 2. And then we get 2 more out, and we eat those 2. I give some to my daughter, but they are just like such a wonderful treat. I am very fond of fruit. Hubby will eat fruit if I put it in front of him all ready to eat, but he will never pick up something to eat. You know, not even a banana. The only time he eats banana is if I eat half of it and hand him the other half. It's crazy. I don't quite follow that. Fruit's good. Tastes good. See, that There's a fuzzy area right there. It's where it just didn't twist at all. It's pretty easy to spin. I mean, it drafts just great. But I do run into periods where it wants to clump. Huh. I have a little green dot by my settings for chat. Let's see what that is. Trying to tell me. New. Huh. Manage moderation settings. I hope I can get back out of this. Sometimes I can't. Welcome to suspicious users. When enabled, potential ban evaders will be detected and flagged for moderators too. Okay. All right. That wasn't what I wanted. I never know how to get back. Yeah, now I've done it. Now I can't get it back. The chat back. Okay, it tells me how it works, but it doesn't tell me how to turn it on. Oops. Now I'm on. No, I don't want that. I'm not real sure what it's trying to tell me here, to be honest with you. Sounds like a good idea, but I can't tell what's running and what's not. I'm watching pictures flash by on the other computer. The screensaver is photos that are on the computer. It has a lot of my skeins of yarn. I just saw one I don't remember spinning. I know it's not. I know it's hand spun from the way it looks, but can't even remember what fiber it was or anything about it. Oh, shit. Got a bump. There we go. It's amazing how this pink just disappears. I mean, I see blues and a little bit of browns, and I see a little bit of pink, but it's like because the Molly had pink, it's two pinks together. When you look at the two-ply, you just see light and dark. And when you look at the whole bobbin, it just looks blue. Multi-blue, but blue. Sorry, I'm sketching an idea. Well, it's in my mind here. I doubt very much hubby will understand that, but maybe I can explain it to him. I'm hearing something, but I don't know what I'm hearing. Can't quite figure it out. Oh, okay, maybe some music. No, the music just changed. So it wasn't the music. Okay. I just wonder if I'm getting a vibration in the... No, it's not the spinning wheel. It's not the Roberta. Gosh, how much more is there? Yeah, probably another 15, 20 minutes. I spent the last 2 days, a couple hours each day, on computer projects that, oh my gosh, I would love to have done something else with the time. Wednesday was checking in for the cruise, which used to be just easy peasy, took 20 minutes at the most. And it's not anymore. First of all, we had to have headshot pictures. Never have had to have that before because they always took them. When you came to the terminal, they took them then. Which is funny because they said, and if we don't like the headshot picture you put in there, we're going to take your picture over. Well, just do it. Don't make me do it. But it was time consuming because I've just figured if I take my camera and take a headshot of me, like a selfie and hubby, and zip that up there. Well, no, it had to fit an oval. And the oval was like this kind of cameo that, photo that you put inside a cameo necklace, right? It was tiny. And no matter what I did, all I would get of my hubby was his nose. It was like, I know you have a big nose, but really, it just wasn't working. So finally, I said, well, I have a camera here on this computer, and it had a little take it now picture, so take it now button. So I clicked that, and yes, that works fine. So then I had to make him sit down and get his picture taken. But so it took time. Then we have to get a COVID test. Not going to get on board that ship unless we're negative for COVID. So you don't make an appointment. You make a reservation. In other words, they want to know that you're going to be there Not even at a certain time, but you're going to be on a list for whoever's doing it that day, that boarding day. I don't know how that's going to go, but that took some time too. So that, I streamed Wednesday morning, and I spent a little bit of break time, and then I spent a couple hours messing around with that because of the photo thing. I kept trying to make the photos I had taken work, and they just weren't working. Yesterday, I had to get my insurance because, enrollment, if you know this, enrollment for Medicare people closes in a couple days. And I needed to, I knew I was going to change insurance. I had planned on that. And it really, I had to spend the time comparing plans, and I knew I was going to do that. So yesterday's time on the computer, I knew was going to happen. Took me about 45 minutes poking around to finally figure out what I thought might be the most important features. What I had in the past 3 years was expensive because I just rolled over what I had when I was working with the same one. I wanted to be established when I went and had these 2 big knee surgeries done, and so they'd, I'd be a good customer and they'd pay for it. And they did. They really did. But it was very expensive, and I don't think I need that anymore. I'm healthy. I don't plan on anything. One never knows, but that's what insurance is all about. So I changed to a cheaper, what they call Advantage, Medicare Advantage. Hubby's been on a Medicare Advantage for quite a few years now, ever since his disability went through and he got Medicare. I'm not real good at computer projects. I'm savvy about it. I can do it. But, sitting at the computer for extended periods of time is really not my cup of tea. I'm a little more active than that. It does mean that I do stuff and I sit down, but I don't sit down for a task for long periods. I sit down to rest for a little bit, maybe knit a little, read a little, and then I'm doing something that's generally up and about. I detest email. I just really, anybody important needs to be calling me or whatever. There is never anything important in email. Hubby is an email dipper. Every other day he'll open up his email on our email on the phone and read about 8 of them and bring about 2 of them for me to read to him because he can't read them. And then, gives up, closes it. So he's seeing like 8 emails out of 1,000. It's like, so much of it is, I shop online. They want your email. They send you multiple emails a day. junk. Except, of course, when they send you a good coupon, then that's exactly what they want. You go and shop some more. Right? Right. Yep. That's how it works. No patience here. Oh, thanks, Ted. He just popped one of those packing bubbles outside my door. I just said his name too. If you were listening. Maybe he was trying to see if I'd yell on stream. I'm always so happy when I get the plying done. Another skein done. Sort of really fell off the wagon about trying to keep track after the Tour de Fleece and whatever we did during the summer and all that tracking I was doing. I kind of stopped doing it then. After that. Oh, and today was the official day in the mail where I did not get a Christmas catalog and I got my first gardening catalog from Beck's Bulbs. I was like, yeah. Love those gardening catalogs in the winter. Oh my gosh. I could just plan huge gardens and a huge amount of work, and of course that doesn't happen. First of all, I don't buy that much, but second of all, I really don't have 15 gardeners to command and tell them where to dig and what to plant, which is what I need. I can't do the work. I'm not going to do the work. I need somebody else doing it. But I do like daydreaming about lots of gardening. I currently have my current tiny garden success is at one point there was one area that I had tried to make a small rose garden, and it didn't like it. It was a bad spot. It didn't like it. It was too wet, actually, in the spring especially. And the poor little bush just struggled and struggled, and I finally gave up thinking it had died and let the grass grow in there. And I wanted to mow it, which meant I needed to double check, right? And I did this September or October, probably October. And I found some green on the bush, down inside all that grass, and I was like, oh, you poor thing. And dug it up, what I could, and put it in water, hoping it didn't really come up with roots. Rose bushes tend to break off at the ground. And so, I had greenery and I had stem, and so I put it in some rooting solution, and not rooting powder, on the end of it, and then stuck it in water. It's been in water for a while. And Wednesday afternoon, I looked at that and it had roots on it. And I'm like, well, I guess I better put you in some dirt. So I did. Now, I'm not going to put it outside. It's too fragile and to be planting a rose bush right before winter like that. So it's in a pot. It's with my potted plants that are not in the house. And, I don't want it to end up being as tender as... I want it to cold acclimate, because roses need to once they're in the ground. So it is on my back porch, which is not heated, in a pot. We'll see. I was like, well, I hope you grow. It is, I forget the name of it. I mean, it was a pretty good quality rose when I bought it a long time ago, but it just never thrived. But it was like a bubblegum pink, right? It was a really pretty faint pink hybrid, or tea rose, I should say. No, not tea rose, Floribunda. Floribunda. So if I can get it going again, maybe I can find a better spot for it. I'm ending up with more better spots as far as sun goes, as I lose more and more of the old trees, right? They used to make everything around the house shady. That's not true anymore. In fact, I know exactly where I'd plant it. And if it doesn't catch on and go, I think I'll buy a... I wonder if miniature roses would last outside in our weather. I don't think so. But I could always put it in a big pot. But set it where I'm thinking. Let's just say I'm very, very, very glad I don't have to be responsible for raising food to keep us alive, because it would not happen. I don't know. Gardening is not a mystery. I understand a lot about it, but what, they say things will do, they don't do. Or I really do have a microclimate here because I live down in a valley with hills all around, which means the cold air gets trapped down here, right? So I have a microclimate around here, around my house, around this area. Holy mackerel. It's going to take me the whole stream to apply this. And I'm going to have a ton of pink. But that's okay. I'll just add more to the bobbin. I have pink left over, so. I thought I was spinning it pretty equally, but I'm not. stretch my fingers. I do apologize for all the yawns. I am just tuckered tonight. Somewhat body achy from the flu shot. It's not bad, just a little bit. I took Tylenol earlier today, but I'll take some before I go to bed. Help me sleep. Like I said, Chunky Bobbin. It's gonna get pretty full. Well, I have a mousy story to tell. I'm sorry if this... It really is a good story. I mean, it really is cute and funny. But I live in an old house. I get mice. I mean, and especially this time of year when it's cold, they want to come in. If they don't already have a place that they play in hidey hole here in the house. And of course that's why I have Cat. And Newman has been amazing, right? He's a good mouser. That's what we want. and he's usually very good about it. He also goes out and hunts other things, but he has been always interested. If there's a mouse, it's his job to get it. Well, Wednesday night, I noticed him. He had a mouse in his mouth. Okay, so he has this. Cats have this mouthful. I have a mouthful. Meow. Oh, right. And he was doing that. I was like, "Oh, good boy, Newman. You did your job. Thank you. You know, let's get rid of it. Whatever." And he drops it down, and the mouse promptly runs off. He hadn't killed it. I was like, "Newman." You know, and he looks at me like, "What?" "I brought you a mouse. What's your problem?" "I caught it. What's your problem?" And I was like, "No, man." So that was in the afternoon. Well, every once in a while I'd see the mouse running, and every once in a while Newman would see the mouse run, and he'd, go sit where he saw the mouse, but the mouse wouldn't come out. I mean, he stalked that mouse all day. And he'd give up, and hubby and I were sitting in the living room, and this little mouse would go running across the living room. And so, hubby took the trash can, and he tried to catch it, and it got away from hubby. I tried to catch it later on. It got away from me. The thing was like charmed. It was charmed, and it was, I would call it a teenager, in the sense that it was not full grown. It wasn't a baby, but it wasn't full grown. So it was, if it would sit anywhere, it was just this little plump round ball of cuteness. I know it's a mouse. I don't like mice in my house, but it was so cute. And I was like, "Look, just let me get you, and I'll put you outside. I won't kill you. I'll put you outside." Oh, he got away from us, and finally, later in the evening, I walked into the dining room, and right there in front of the buffet was the mouse, and it was sitting there, and it didn't scuttle when I walked by, and I thought, well, did it die? And I walked a little closer, and it didn't move, and I thought, I don't think it's dead, because when they're dead, they lay flat, right? It was sitting up. The stupid thing was asleep. It was asleep in broad daylight in the thing, and I'm like, I can't believe you. It was asleep. So, of course, I tried to catch it, and it woke up and ran away. Long story short, it did finally die on its own, not through any means of us other than probably exhaustion, right? We probably exhausted it. And I apologized and said, "I am so sorry, but you just were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and too smart for your own good." It was awfully cute, though. Holy mackerel, this is not going to fit on this bobbin. I am going to have to start another bobbin. Yep, I am going to have to start another bobbin. There was a lot of yardage on here. I did not think plying this would take the whole stream. I really didn't. But I'm happy to have it done. Almost done. I just realized I didn't save any of this fiber. If I ever enter anything in the state fair, I have to have a sample of the fiber. I don't think when I was spinning this, I really thought that I would ever enter this to be judged, just because I think I mean, they have a non-wool category, absolutely, but I think the judge would question I would have to include a label or something. They'd question me about what it really was. They don't ever question me, they just say, wrong category, and that's it. But yeah, they have a category where you can put bamboo and you can put man-made, and then they have another category where you put natural, like the non-wool, like silk and cotton. Actually, bamboo is natural. So they have a category for tencel, that sort of thing. Milk. I entered a milk skein one year. So I have a sweat skein and I don't need it. I made my washcloth out of the two multiplied together. I don't think it's going to matter if I do it just matters how it looks, not how it's going to react or work or knit up or anything. Oh, we drove home in the dark. Obviously, it gets dark so early tonight. Venus was amazing. Of course, I could see it. It's the evening star. I could see it early, before it even was truly dark. But it was amazing tonight, and must be closer. You know, it goes through cycles where it's closer to the Earth, and it must be closer right now. The rest of the stars were really, really nice. By the time we got home, I got out of the car and go in the house, but I was watching that Venus the whole way home because, you know, it was there and the bright star in the sky. I'm not done. Excuse me. Oh man, this is taking forever. Oh. Put myself to sleep. Or maybe the cocktail is. I'm not going to blame it all on the fiber. Or single, or yarn, or whatever. Well, I can see bobbin shaft on one end. So we are on the final lap here. You know what would look, although I don't make, okay, back up. I was just thinking as I was playing, I have what really is probably a purple, but it looks almost gray. And I realized this light pink would look really good with the gray. But it's acrylic and the light gray is going to be wool. That would take some sampling to see if those two are compatible. This does have wool in it. It's not 100% acrylic. I think it has 15% wool. Something like that. I can't reach the label. It's too far over there. But anyway, it does have wool in it. And of course, whatever I made, if I hand washed it, I'm sure it'd be fine. I just think that the wool might be spin differently, right? You have two different textures in the singles, which is okay. You can put that together if that's what you want. But I like pink and gray together. I have discovered a short-sleeved but chunky knit sweater that was commercially made. It's a commercial sweater, but I really like it. It's very comfortable. I like the short sleeves. You know, it looks like a t-shirt, but it's styled differently because it has a collar. So it doesn't look like a t-shirt. It just has that t-shirt style sleeve. Be a cute pattern to knit. I don't know if my skill would be good enough to try and copy it or not. Yeah, hi HD. Applying, or make the yes, no, I wasn't, you are right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Make a single of wool, make a single of acrylic. I actually was not thinking of drum carding and putting them together. But I think if I would do that, and if I would drum card it, I would drum card, maybe 75% wool, and put the acrylic in like you do silk, or something like that. And then it would be the gray bat with the streaks of pink running through it, and I think that would be pretty. I'm done. I'm at the end. Let's hear it for long leaders. All right. I mean, sometimes this 2-ply of this stuff ends up almost looking like cotton, in the sense that it's that kind of cottony look. So this is what I have left of the pink, but I have plenty more to spin. So I'll have to skein that off sometime, not on stream, because I like to count. Yay, finally. I did not think it would take that long. Oh, goodness. It's the story of my life lately. Everything takes longer than I think it will. Like online stuff and driving home stuff and all that. All right. My camera looks so awful. This is a pink tablecloth. My camera just looks terrible. I don't know if I need to get a new one or not. We're going to do, in our last bit of time, this actually worked out real good. We're going to do a couple more of the Fiber Advent. I am not putting up the spoiler alert sign because this is not from any of the exchanges. This is what I bought as my Christmas present to myself. And you all saw this box on Wednesday morning, anybody that was here or watched it. It is from Something Wonderful Studio. That is who did it. And she is online, of course. She has an Etsy store. Her address is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So it came packed like this. Oh, I just love the way this looks. I hate opening any of it. Isn't that cool? It is so pretty with all this silver and gold and copper and black. I mean, those are tissue papers, but it's wonderful. This was the first one. They're Rologs. I'm anticipating everything's going to be Rologs now. But that is actually true to color. That's a purple. And very, very soft. Very soft. So that was the first one. Day 1, December 1st. We're going to open December 2nd and 3rd. It should be this gold one. And a silver one. So I'm going to set this aside. And see, that's my Christmas bun, right? A nice, very 4 ounce, I think, or 2 ounce maybe, 2 ounce braid. At least I think it's braid. Very tidy Rologs. I absolutely agree. I don't get them. First of all, I tend to make mine about twice as long because that's what my board is. So this looks like it's almost being made on a handcart. It's extremely thick though. It's got lots of fiber in there. It's really packed. So it's going to spin a fair amount. Alright, let's do number 2. With its sparkly white thread. Okay, are we going to be disappointed if it's more of the purple? Nah, it's awfully pretty purple. It really is very, very pretty. It's got candy. It is not purple. I'm glad those didn't melt. That was a nice surprise, wasn't it? Candy. It's maroon, honey. It's a gorgeous maroon. Can you see that through there? I'll undo it. I don't. This fiber has to be merino or Polworth or something wonderful. But it is super soft. Oh, I mean super soft. And it's really, really lightly variegated. You can see it better in the purple, but really there's just gray little bits of light and dark all through that Rolog. And it looks purple on my camera. It is actually a deep maroon color. Let's try this one. Even that looks pretty purple. It's not coming out quite. It looks, it just doesn't look maroon at all. Believe me, it is maroon. So cool. So these, you know, I'm going to have to decide how to spin them. That's, you know, that's the fun and hard part. I don't really know. The only thing I do know is I don't want to start with day 1. I want to open them all. I want to know the entire thing before I decide on how I spin them. Variety is fun. It is. All right. Number 3 with its lovely, shiny, curly ribbon. Like silver paper. I wonder how many of these packages she had to wrap. My goodness, she was wrapping forever. Ready? I have writing. I have tea. Oh, I have stash tea. I love stash tea. That's out of Oregon. I love stash tea. Decaf chai spice. And this is a true light purple, and that looks real good in the camera. All right. Let me get that out of there. Oh man, if she puts a goodie in every one, that's a lot of goodies. That's a lot of goodies. I do have the exchange, and I am going to do some of that Sunday afternoon towards the end of the thing. I'll put a spoiler alert sign up because that is some that people are getting, in trade from that might. But this one here, I knew nobody else would have gotten it in an exchange because this was a paid for Advent fiber calendar. Let's get rid of this tape. There we go. Yay! This is going to be fun. So we'll have 2 more to open on Sunday, and I will be leaving then Wednesday morning, so I won't be streaming. So when I get back the week of Christmas, I won't stream then. So the days after Christmas, December 26th on, I'm going to stream every day, and we are going to have fun opening up all of this because that's when I'm going to be opening most of it. Hubby just, I was so upset with him for making this cruise right at Christmas, but he's happy, so that's good. I have opened this one up so much I'm starting to open up the open up the roll-log. I don't want to do that. Oh goodness. Alright, that's what we have. 1, 2, and 3. And they go together beautifully. Beautifully. Oh, they look more blue than they are purple. They're purple. This is true blue. This one is maroon. And this one is a purple with that maroon really, really faint in there. And they must have made these roll-logs themselves. This is a lot of work. Yeah, that was fun. I'm losing my hair's too slippery. I'm losing my head microphone. All right, I'm gonna say good night. It's been nice spending some time just relaxing. I am so happy to have that plied. I will try and get that into a skein so I can show it on Sunday afternoon. And I will be back. In the meantime, HG, you have a great weekend. And everybody, have a great weekend. And stay safe and get good rest. And I sound just like Snoring Cat. I need my own tagline, don't I? You guys, happy spinning or whatever you're doing. Take care. Bye.